All right, for example 2, it says a certain type of marathon runner completes a race in an average of 4.5 hours. So that is going to be our average value with a standard deviation of 0.4. Assuming the race times are normally distributed, so that means it's going to be our normal curve, but we're going to use z-scores so we can find the probability of more diverse events. Find the percentage of runners with the given completion times. So those completion times, whatever they are, those are our x values. Okay, so for the first part, they want us to find less than 4 hours. So less than 4 hours would be on the left side. So we are going to find the z-score, use that to find the probability on the table, and that would be our answer. So plugging it into our z-score equation, we would have 4.0, or just 4, minus the average, which we said was 4.5, divided by the standard deviation of 0.4. Remember, that formula needs to be memorized for the test. It will not be given to you for the test value. Once we find our z-score, you get negative 1.25. Remember, that's not our answer. That's used to help us find the probability. So we're going to take that negative 1.25, go to our table. It's negative, so you need to make sure you flip to the negative side. And we are looking for negative 1.25. So there's negative 1.2 here. And remember with this one, so I'm going to go in green, we're going to negative 1.2. We need to find 2.5. So the 0.05 is here. Wherever those two meet, that's the value that we need to use. So for this one, it's 0.1056. Okay. So that's the probability that we are going to have. What's it again? Oh, I lost my paper. There it is, 0.1056. So that would be the probability of getting less than 4 hours. So not very much. If we change it to a percentage, it would be about 10.56%. You don't have to change it to a percent, but if you do, that would be marked correct as well. Just make sure you put the percent sign. And that's our answer for A. For B, they want at least 5.1 hours. So this means we're looking for more than 5.1 hours. So that is going to end up being on the right side. So whenever we're looking for more than the probability, we are going to take 1 minus the probability of that up to that event. Because when we find the probability, it's giving us the less than. Okay, so 5.1 is our hours. For your z-score, you would do z equals 5.1 minus the average, which did not change, 4.5, divided by our standard deviation, 0.4. Again, type that into your calculator. Make sure you type it in the correct way so that it gives you the correct z-score. And this one would be positive 1.5. So we will go to our table to find the probability of up to that. We need to go to our positive side. And it was just 1.5. There was nothing after it, so we're just going to take the first number in our 1.5, which looks like we've already used before, 0.9332. So we'll go back to our notes and write that down. Okay. So again, that's giving us the probability up to that many hours of 5.1 hours. We need to figure out more than 5.1 hours. So to do that, we're going to type it in our probability of 1 minus every probability that was below that. So that gives us our final answer, which is going to be 0.0668. And that's the probability of getting more than that. So about 6.68% if you wrote it as a percentage. Not very many people are going to be running for more than that 5 hours. Okay, so then our next one, we need between 4.2 and 4.9. So when we find the probability, it's going to be everything that the probability of getting less than 4.2 and then less than 4.9. And we need everything in between them. So we're going to find the probability of the 4.9. Let's say it's up to this point over in our curve. And then we're going to find the probability of everyone getting less than 4.2. And we're going to subtract that. That will give us just the value of this middle part here. That's what we're looking for. So we need two different z-scores for this. For our first x value, we use 4.2 minus our average, which was 4.5, did not change, divided by our standard deviation of 0.4. For that z-score, when you type it into your calculator, you should get a negative 0.75. So we're going to use that to go to our table and find the probability of that many people finishing in that time. So we're going to the negatives. It was negative 0.75. Okay, so I'm going to find negative 0.7, which is right here. And then I need the 5 in the hundredth place again. So I go to the 5 at the top, and I'm looking for where these values meet. So that's the probability of getting 4.2 hours or less, 0.226. So we'll have 0.2266. Okay. Now we need to find the probability of getting 4.9 hours or less. So z would equal 4.9 minus 4.5, our average, divided by 0.4. Again, you'll type that into your calculator. This one will give us 1 for our z-score, and we'll use that to find our probability. So if we go back to our table, we need the positive 1 value. So make sure you are double checking whether your z-score was positive or negative. And this one, positive 1, gives us a probability of 0.8413. So the probability of this one was 0.8413. And again, we need the probability that it's between these two. So to find that, we're going to take the probability of 4.9 or less, which we had as 0.8413, and then we're going to take away the probability of 4.2 or less, which is 0.2266. That will leave us with just the space in between them. And this one would give us 0.6147. So that is the likelihood that it would end up in between those two values. All right, once you're done with this video, you can go ahead to the next one, which is going to go over a couple of different types of problems.